our guests this evening are Korean War veterans and our peaceful volunteers. I would like to ask all of the veterans here tonight from the Korean War, either American or Korean citizens, to please stand so you know who they are. If you served in the Korean War. I want to recognize Consul General Seo, who is our host this evening. Thank you for
Dear all the friends of Korea who served and have contributed to Korea-US relations, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, and thank you all for joining us tonight for the Friends of Korea Night commemorating the 70th anniversary of Korea-US alliance. In Korea, turning 70 is known as Go-hee, which translates to a difficult and rare achievement. Building this 70-year-long security alliance between Korea and the US is such an accomplishment in international politics where there are no eternal friends or enemies. Earlier today, I spent some time thinking about what has kept ROK-US alliance ironclad, that I realized that it's the people, each one of you in this room. The birth of the ROK-US alliance began with the Korean War. Without that victory, there would be no Republic Korea, the unsung heroes who fought to defend freedom, peace, and democracy for Korea, our proud soldiers are the ones who should be celebrated today the most. So I would like to ask again our Korean War veterans to please stand. Korean War veterans, please stand again to give them a big round of applause. Thank you. May you all live long and happy lives. Last year, I attended a very special ceremony, the repatriation of the remains of Surgeon Alan H. Tuttle back to his home after 72 years. Until then, I was not aware of how many families lived in such pain and grief for their missing family members. Today, the government of Republic of Korea will present the Ambassador for Peace Medal to his family on behalf of Surgeon Tuttle. In addition, we will also present the medal to the families of those who have not yet received this recognition. I'd like to ask the family of Surgeon Tuttle and the families of the Korean War veterans to stand. Please thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. You are now looking at a photograph of the moment the 1953 ROK-US Mutual Defense Treaty was signed, marking the beginning of the ROK-US alliance. It was signed on October 1st, shortly after ceasefire in the Korean War, by Korean Foreign Minister Byung-tae and US Secretary of State John Foster Dulles. Joining us today is Mr. Byun Jong-hae, grandson of then Foreign Minister Byung-tae. He will receive a presidential citation awarded by Korean government in recognition of his service to the Korea-US Education Foundation. Please give him a round of applause. Where is Byun Jong-hae? Okay, please. Thank you. And there is another that has stood since 1953, the DMZ. Unfortunately, the 70th anniversary of the ROK-US alliance coincides with the anniversary of the division of the Korean Peninsula. Before entering this room today, you may have noticed a series of pictures of the DMZ on display. Taking this opportunity, I'd like to thank Mr. Kim Won-jun for sharing his photo exhibition, which reminds us of the history of the division and express his desire for peaceful reunification on the Korean Peninsula. Mr. Won-jun Kim, if you would, please stand. The Republic of Korea is known as the country with the miracle of the Han River that brought forth remarkable economic growth and democratization. This achievement is owed to the support of the United States. Above all, the deployment of the Peace Corps was instrumental in bringing South Korea and the US closer and deeper. During the 15-year period from 1966 to 1981, the seeds that the Peace Corps volunteers sowed in Korea bore many beautiful fruits that transformed Korea into a developed country. In order to give back the devotion and service that we received, Korea created Korean Peace Corps volunteers to send the areas that need it most. Attending from the Washington State and Oregon, I would like to ask again Peace Corps Korea all to stand. so much. These have been retellings of the past. Now let me move on to the present state of ROK-US alliance. Washington State is home to the First Corps, the nation's first responders in the event of crisis on the Korean Peninsula. More significantly, the JBLM was the first settlement in Washington for many Korean women with international marriages after war. Since last September, more than 4,200 soldiers from 2nd Stryker Brigade Combat Team, 1st Corps, have returned home after successful service of duty in South Korea. I'm joined today by Lieutenant General Brunson Xavier, Major General Stephen Smith, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Piccini, and members of the JBLM. All of you from JBLM, please stand. A round of applause, please. And then there are many friends in the United States supporting the strong Korea-US alliance by keeping the safety and security of our community and legislating the value of freedom and solidarity for the whole community. I once again would like to ask all the elected officials, politicians, and representatives from state governments, assembly, cities, and counties to please stand. Last but not least, I'm honored to introduce my fellow Korean Americans. This year also marks the 120th anniversary of Korean immigration to the United States. In this time, Korean Americans have grown into an exemplary community that embodies vitality and productivity. In addition, Korean Americans have stood with their motherland at every critical moment, from the independence movement and economic growth, even to the global spread of the Korean wave, and have served as a constructive bridge between Korea and the United States. All members of the Korean American community, please stand. You are also real heroes for the 70th anniversary of Korea-US alliance. Please stand. All the Korean communities, please. Where are my fellow Koreans? Where are you? The Republic of Korea is no longer a small country in Northeast Asia. It is 10th largest economy in the world, the 7th country to join the 30-50 club, the 7th country to send the orbiter into the moon, the world's 5th largest automobile producer, the 2nd largest shareholder of semiconductor production, and the most innovative country in the world, according to the Bloomberg Innovation Index. The Korea-US alliance is now poised for the next 70 years. During President Yoon Suk-yeol's state visit last April, our two countries moved beyond a security alliance to a global, comprehensive strategic partnership, making South Korea a proud partner of the United States in every field of cutting-edge science and technology, digital economy, cyberspace, space, and culture. Our relationship has evolved over the decades, but South Korea will always be a friend to the United States when they need us, just like as they were with us. And our ironclad alliance will last forever. Let's go together. 같이 갑시다. 감사합니다. Thank you very much.
Well, good evening, everybody. When it was said that I had just got back from Korea, literally I was there yesterday. And our city experienced one of the most tragic events, I think, in our city's history, at the death very recently of a great Korean American, Ina Kwan. And I think many of you know, many of you were at the service today with me and my wife, and I wanted to publicly state the city's condolences on such a senseless, mindless act. That quite honestly, when I spoke to the mayor of Seoul and the mayor of Daejeon is our sister city, by the way, that death shook up the world. But I'll also say that for me personally, and as mayor of a great city, it renewed my love affair with Korea. To understand their history of a country that's been invaded by multiple neighbors, to show the act of resilience and bravery and faith and commitment and love, quite honestly, is unprecedented. My father fought alongside you in the Korean War, as did my wife's father. And to see now, yesterday, for several days, what they fought for, the beauty of the Korean people, to see it, to feel it, to taste it, was life-changing. So I commit to all of you, and I know there are many elected leaders, and if I could be so bold, if you hold elected office or once held elected office, would you be so kind to stand up, please? Don't be shy. Politicians aren't shy. That these fine leaders understand and appreciate Korean Americans and what these fine veterans fought for. My senior deputy mayor, Monisha Harrell, has also visited Seoul, and we just wanted you to know that the city stands with you, behind you, for you. And it's a great evening. I'm sorry about the mic system. I get blamed for everything, so just blame me for this anyway. Not my mic system, but we'll get through it tonight. I have another engagement I have to speak at the University of Washington, so I apologize for having to leave. But I just wanted to, my senior deputy mayor is still here. I just wanted to show you by my presence my love and respect for such a vibrant, great community, and once again, my heart and condolences out for the Kwan family in a tragic event. Thank you very much.
Korean American leaders are coming to shape. U.S. Representative Marilyn Spector was one of the first Korean American women ever elected to Congress. State Representative Lee was the first Korean American woman elected to our state legislature. Lady Paul Shin was the first Korean American elected to the legislature in our history. And now Korea is one of our state's top trading partners, $6 billion. We have so much to be proud of. This community has so much for our state. Let's keep building a great state and a great nation.
Greetings to my fellow friends in Korea. I'm so honored to mark the 70th anniversary of the U.S.-Korea alliance and really underscore how important it is for our economic and global security. When President Yoon was here in Washington, D.C., I was honored to meet him, and again emphasizing why this alliance is so important. We are strong partners. We are stronger together, and I congratulate us on 70 productive years.
Hello, I'm Adam Smith, the Congressman who represents the 9th District of the state of Washington, and I want to join you in commemorating the 70th anniversary of the alliance of the Republic of Korea and the United States of America. This has been an incredible and important partnership spanning 7 decades now. So the partnership between the U.S. and South Korea is one of the strongest that we have. We value it greatly and look forward to continuing to work together. I'd like to present my question.
First of all, thank you for allowing us to be here tonight to celebrate this great event. To the Korean War veterans, I will not ask you to stand up again, but just know that you have our gratitude. Though this 70th anniversary is one which was forged in the fires of war on the Korean Peninsula, it's so much more. I'd never given thought before this evening that the Peace Corps was involved. And when we saw in the video that the councilwoman played, it's a vibrant, great society there in South Korea now. But that's born of not only the efforts of soldiers like myself, but also by the great Peace Corps volunteers. So thank you all again as well. I think one thing that should not be lost tonight is the responsibility of those of us that know to ensure that we keep this ironclad relationship going for 70, and then 70, and then 70, and then 70, and then 70 more years, that it might be there for all that it means for not only our nation, but for the Korean peoples everywhere. Thank you again for allowing us the opportunity to come here and experience this friendship. And thank you so much to the Korean people for what you mean to us in the United States Army, but also to the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Greg. Hi, everyone. 안녕하세요. I'm so happy to join you for the 70th anniversary as well as the 120th anniversary of immigration. I've been a Washingtonian for going on 54 years now, so I think I missed the Peace Corps members because I left Korea when I was in 1967, but then I was only 9 years old, so what did I know, right? So I am struck with the bravery of course, all the military, those who served in the Korean War and during the Peace Corps years, and also the bravery of civilians, everyone who either stayed in Korea and rebuilt up Korea, or those of us, and it's 2 million strong Korean Americans that are living abroad, and another 5 million or more living abroad. And we are successfully not just adapting, but also thriving. We are doing really well as a population. Of course, some of us need more help than others, including my 90-year-old mom. But we have, I believe the bravery comes out in different ways. And so whether it's your corner of your town or community, or your corner of the economy, or even your family, raising your children well, and serving in many different ways, I applaud you all for your bravery. Thank you all very much, and 70 more to every one of us.
My name is Lisa Mannion, and I serve as the King County Prosecuting Attorney. It is an honor to be here with you tonight to commemorate the 70th anniversary of the ROK-US Alliance. I want to thank Consul General Sal for inviting me to speak tonight. I also want to thank the individuals in the room whose service directly contributed to the strength of our historic alliance now in its 70th year. Above all, thank you to the veterans in the room who are joining us tonight, and thank you to the former Peace Corps volunteers. We all owe you a debt of gratitude. It is because of your sacrifices and service that we are here tonight to commemorate our historically successful bilateral relationship. Since the Mutual Defense Treaty was signed October 1, 1953, our shared commitment to security, democracy, economic growth, and human rights has only continued to grow stronger. Built on the shared sacrifices of the Korean War, the ROK-US Alliance is continuing to contribute to a shared prosperity and the advancement of our shared values. Mutual investments in science and technology are working to combat global threats such as disease and climate change. Our economic partnership, including direct investment and trade, is actively leading to job creation on both sides of our shores. And our unwavering security cooperation is directly supporting the safety and security of the Indo-Pacific region and the international community more broadly. On a personal note, it is not lost to me how my own life, which began as an infant born in Seoul, South Korea, to becoming the first Korean American woman in the United States to be elected prosecuting attorney is made possible by our bilateral relationship. I was separated from my Korean mother when I was very young, and as a result, I did not grow up knowing or understanding my Korean ancestry or our culture. I did not grow up hearing or speaking Korean. I did not grow up eating Korean food or celebrating Korean history or holidays. I did not have Korean aunties, ajumma, looking out for me. But as I took on the challenge of seeking my first elected office, it was the strength of the Korean American community that provided me so much support and encouragement. Our Korean American community welcomed me like a long-lost daughter and came out in force to support me and repeatedly told me how proud they are of me. It is not an understatement for me to say that I would not be standing here this evening before you, a Korean American whose life has spanned both Korea and the United States, if not for the alliance between our two countries. For the efforts of every veteran and former Peace Corps volunteer, whether before, during, or after the Korean War, I owe you a very personal thank you. I am honored to be recipient of this great history. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I'm really honored and proud to be here today. The one thing that strikes me about this particular room is that it is the epitome of service and community. That everybody who has served, everybody who has been supported by those who have served, and this continued relationship of this anniversary, it really is the epitome of not only the past, but what our future is. The only future that we truly have is in service to one another and in this work going forward. And so I want to thank Consul General Suh for inviting me to this wonderful event tonight. But I also am reminded and heartened by those who have served, our veterans who have served, and those who continue to serve, by those in the Peace Corps who have given of themselves in their way and with their families and friends to be able to make sure that our connections between communities stay strong. By this continued work together, because this truly is our pathway forward. When I think about what we've all been through recently with the pandemic, Washington State was amongst the first hit with those first cases of COVID. And before we could get supplies from our own government, from our own country, it was our connections with Korea that actually allowed supplies to get to the first state hit. It is because of our friendship and our partnership and this relationship that Washington was able to receive supplies to be able to fight that early episodes of the pandemic. And so you never know when these relationships that we build will bear fruit, but there is no doubt in my mind that everybody in this room is here because of their love of service and their love of community, and it is only with that sort of work that we will continue to build a great future together. So thank you very much, and I look forward to a fantastic evening and dinner.
Thank you. Before I get started, I have two things that I am going to cover. One, I'll read the letter, and then I want to make a brief statement from the agency. But I want to say thank you to Consul General Seo-eung for the invitation tonight to this event. I'm honored to be here. Also to recognize our representatives from our Washington State Legislature, so our senators, representatives, and distinguished guests from our armed services. I think General Brunson, there we go. So here's the greetings from our governor. On behalf of the state of Washington, I would like to extend warm greetings to all in attendance to recognize the 70th anniversary of the United States alliance with the Republic of Korea. In addition, 2023 marks the 120th anniversary of the arrival of the first Korean immigrants to America. Fueled by our shared commitment to democracy, human rights, and the rule of law, the bonds between our two nations run deep. Since 1953, when the Mutual Defense Treaty was signed by U.S. Secretary of State John Foster Dulles and South Korean Foreign Minister Byung Tae, the U.S. Republic of Korea partnership has blossomed into a comprehensive global strategic alliance. In Washington State, we are a proud home of over 130,000 Korean Americans who contribute immensely to the rich tapestry of our state. As Washington's fourth largest trading partner, the Republic of Korea is an integral part of our state's thriving and innovative economy. In the years ahead, I have confidence this relationship will continue to benefit the peoples of both Washington and the Republic of Korea. Thank you for coming to celebrate this special milestone. Please accept my best wishes for a successful event and meaningful recognition of accomplishments of this alliance. Signed, Jay Inslee, our governor. So quickly, just say something on behalf of your Washington State Department of Veterans Affairs. Again, I wish to express my sincere gratitude to the Republic of Korea, Consul General Seo-eunji, and veterans of the Republic of Korea Armed Forces, as well as the veterans of the United States Armed Forces. I also want to say thank you to your family members for ongoing support of all the service members between our nations. We recognize the shared hardship of war and the impact it has on our service members and family. Our contributions both on and off the battlefield solidified a bond shared between our nations. We stand strong due in part to our achievements, dedication, and honorable service. May we continue to strengthen the Republic of Korea and U.S. alliance as we serve our great state. Thank you.
Pilot, which means that he completed over 100 missions during the Korean War. His medal is to be received by his granddaughter, the Honorable Mari, Washington State Representative.
At this point, I'd like to propose a toast to the health and happiness and whatever, and your success for everyone present here tonight. Cheers!
Okay.